So I'm going to be doing stress and homeostasis at high seas. One stress that we found is drowning. So drowning is when you automatically begin to hold your breath when you are going underwater. This will activate fear, which will activate the adrenal glands, which gives the body energy to get air, which is a form of homeostasis. Confusion will also occur, which leads to hyperventilation, struggling, and gasping. Also, once you lose enough air, the cerebral cortex will shut down and the hypothalamus will take over as a form of homeostasis. The hypothalamus will tell the body to breathe, and from here you can either inhale water, which will cause it to go down the trachea into the lungs, inducing the gag reflex, and your alveoli will not work so that the carbon dioxide will build up. If you spit the water out and you lose oxygen, and if you swallow, it goes down the esophagus, causing distension, which causes vomiting and pressure on the lungs. Also, after about 2 minutes, you become unconscious and pass out in the water. The next stress we have is seasickness, which is extremely dangerous. It can drain you of your nutrients and energy, and some treatments that we found were scopolamine, dramamine, acupressure, swimming, and the placebo effect. For diet and hunger, or hunger and diet, the hunger will activate the amygdala and the hippocampus, which is the body's way of telling you that there's not enough glucose in the blood. Carbs should be about 60% of your diet, and they give you heat and power. Fat should be about 25%, and they give you energy. And protein should be about 15%, and they also give you energy. So food sources are fish, turtle, seabirds, plankton, and krill. Finally, we have water dehydration. Basically, if you swallow salt water by accident, you will be enticed to drink more because you think it's water and it'll help you. But in fact, it hinders you and it causes you to become delirious and makes you become even more thirsty, which will cause you to go insane. A way that the body has homeostasis here is that to keep the blood at 1% of salt, the body uses osmosis to get water if you drink salt water. Additionally, dehydration will happen if you don't drink enough fresh water, which will cause you to not have enough stimulation in your brain. So the brain will fill in stimulation for you and cause you to hallucinate and see things that aren't there. And that's it.
Salt water is not only dangerous to drink, it can be very bad if exposed to for a long time. It can become trapped in life rafts or boats and is very tough to get out. It can cause serious damage to exposed skin. The wound and the pain that comes with it can be extremely demoralizing for a person trapped at sea. Salt in the water starts to erode the skin much like sandpaper. Over time, this keeps rubbing at the skin and it can cause damage like lesions or tears. Sometimes it can even reach bone. When submerged, one may inhale water into the lungs accidentally. This often happens because someone naturally wants to breathe, so their body takes in what it thinks is air but is actually water. This causes pulmonary edema, or alveoli filling with liquid. Symptoms include difficulty breathing, lung irritation, removal of respiratory mucosal tissues, and drowning. Most likely, CPR will be used to remove the water from lungs. But the problem is, if a person is alone, they can't do it to themselves. Oftentimes, when stranded at sea, people experience seasickness. This is caused by conflicting stimuli to the brain from inner ear fluid, vision, and your sense of touch. There are many mental health problems caused by seagoers, especially those exposed for long periods of time. These include panic attacks, spasms or misfirings of the amygdala, insomnia, disruption of the hypothalamus and suprachiasmatic nucleus, anthropomorphization, affection towards inanimate objects caused by severe isolation and abnormal relationship management of the temporal lobe. Extended periods in small areas like a raft and severe lack of physical activity can cause muscle atrophy, which includes shrinking of the affected limb, extreme weakness, pain upon physical exertion, and a limited range of motion. Malnutrition is also commonly experienced at sea and can just increase the rate of muscle atrophy. The body's inability to drink salt water often results in dehydration in seagoers. Effects of dehydration on kidneys include overworking or exhaustion, chronic kidney disease, and kidney failure. If one does drink salt water in excessive amounts, they may experience kidney failure or disease, or massive fluid loss or excessive urination.
Prevention is a pill that will stop your gag reflex, and this is helpful because when you are in the water, your body gags after a long period of time, and this causes an inflow of water into the stomach, which presses up against the lungs, and it can either go to the stomach or into the lungs, which then your alveoli will fill, and then you will drown. And then our second one is an anti-drowning wristband and filter. So what this is, it's a wristband that you put on as soon as you get on the boat, and after 5 meters down into the water, it'll instantly fill with air, raising your body to the surface, preventing drowning. And as you exit the water, you need to be able to drink water to survive. So X is a filter, and whenever the bag goes off, a homing beacon will be sent out to the Coast Guard so they can come get you.